the Church of St Mary and St Mella over the road decided in May that they were going to sell the hall. And the locals were absolutely furious because they had put all the money together 10 years before to turn it into a really nice community hall. So there was a terrific row about it. And we live next door, and I thought, I don't really want it to be turned into a nightclub or a workshop that has saws and hammering going on all day long. So perhaps we should buy it and then just turn it back into a community hall, which is what Amesbury needs. It's the biggest hall in Amesbury. And Amesbury is getting bigger by the minute. 10 years ago, they found £400,000 to completely revamp the hall and make it a fine hall. And it just seems tragic to let it all go to rats. And they feel very proprietorial about it because all the people who put the work in and the effort, the project managed it and so on, to make it a really good hall, felt, I think, very let down by the idea of selling it without any consultation. Well, we had a public meeting up in the other side of town, and there must have been, I don't know, a couple of hundred people there on their feet, people saying why it should be kept and so on. And they ran articles in the local press, and I just feel that people thought it had been rather underhand. It had been just sort of slipped under the radar, and suddenly it was for sale without any real consultation. I think it was the one thing the church was making some money for the church. It doesn't make a huge amount of money, but it makes some money. And it's been, the money that's made has largely been reinvested into the facilities in the hall. So it was a money earner, but obviously you have to have the right people running it. And I think there was some internal politicking. So we'll have mothers and toddlers, Pilates groups, exercise groups, old people's lunches, and weddings, and it's a very good place to have a reception after a funeral. If you have a funeral over the road, the people attending the funeral can just walk across here to have a reception here. So it's a very good place for a party. After the British Legion Remembrance Day service, and I think that's really nice. So we have the service in the graveyard over the road in the church, and then we all trip over here and have a nice lunch together and raise more money for the British Legion. I think that's a really nice function. And you put a table in here, and it's a good sized meeting room. I'd just like everybody to come and use it again, and to think about using it for other things that they might not have used it for before. So we want groups to come and use it. And it would be very nice to get the youth group running again. We've had several people who've sent us a note to say how pleased they are. And this afternoon, my husband was outside in the pavement, and a man walked past and he said, "Mr. Glover, I just want to say how pleased I am that you've bought the hall."